In this video, we will discuss adaptive project lifecycle with real-life examples, e-commerce website, and payday loan projects. We will use software development project domain to explain the adaptive project lifecycle. Therefore, this video is also an explanation of the adaptive SDLC model. In our past video on types of project lifecycle, we described the following characteristics of adaptive lifecycle. The product may be fairly unpredictable and changes are expected. There are multiple smaller deliveries. A project is completed in several smaller cycles. Product increments are created and refined in each cycle and could also be deployed. The phases within each cycle may occur in parallel or overlap. The goal is to deliver customer value via frequent deliveries and feedback. Adaptive lifecycle combines the features of iterative and incremental lifecycles. Agile approaches such as Scrum or Kanban follow adaptive lifecycle. Note that adaptive lifecycle can be achieved in two ways. Time-burst approach such as Scrum, where delivery cycles have fixed durations, or flow-based approach such as Kanban, where delivery cycles have variable durations. Adaptive lifecycle is used in situations where the product may be complex or fairly unpredictable and changes are expected, where there is need to deliver customer value via frequent deliveries, feedback, and refinement. Therefore, we assume that the above conditions are satisfied by the e-commerce website and the payday loan example projects we will discuss in this video. Know that you are not adapting if you are just delivering products in several cycles without focusing on value and refining product increments with feedback. In this illustration, between the start and the close phases of a project, there are several small cycles. An increment is delivered in each cycle. The phases from requirement analysis to deployment are repeated in each cycle and could occur in parallel or overlap. So, in the first cycle, the first increment is created and delivered, and feedback is received. This feedback is used to modify the first increment in the second cycle, and new features could also be developed to create a second increment, which is delivered and feedback is received. Likewise, in the third cycle, the third increment is created and delivered and feedback is received. The phases are repeated in subsequent cycles up to the last cycle when the last increment is created and delivered. For this e-commerce example, in the first cycle, the first increment is built and delivered and feedback is received. The first increment comprises basic search, product detail, add product to cart, and payment method. This feedback is used to modify the first increment in the second cycle, and new features, preview product, update product in cart, shipping information, and place an order are also developed to create a second increment, which is delivered and feedback is received. Likewise, in the third cycle, the third increment is created and delivered and feedback is received. In the last cycle, the last increment is created and delivered to the customer. Note that in this example, each product increment contains requirement that will deliver the highest value to the customer in each cycle. Remember that the goal of adaptive life cycle is to deliver customer value via frequent deliveries and feedback. It could take more than 4 cycles to complete the requirements in this e-commerce example. Some requirements in this example are big and could further be broken down. For the payday loan example, in the first cycle, the first increment is built and delivered. Feedback is received. The first increment comprises registration and login, apply for loan online, view and set payment schedules, and verify client job and income. This feedback is used to modify the first increment in the second cycle, and new features, view and update profile, view, add and update income, view a standing loan, and pay by email transfer are also developed to create a second increment, which is delivered and feedback is received. Likewise, in the third cycle, the third increment is created and delivered, and feedback is received. In the last cycle, the last increment is created and delivered to the customer. Note that in this example, each product increment contains requirements that will deliver the highest value to the customer in each cycle. It could take more than 4 cycles to complete the requirements in this payday loan example. Some requirements in this example are big and could be further broken down. In summary, we use adaptive life cycle for projects where the product may be complex or fairly unpredictable and changes are expected, where there is need to deliver customer value via frequent deliveries and feedback. Thanks for watching. Please drop your comments and subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get notified when we come up with new videos.